Exclamation, everybody, and welcome back to the Gemini star system. It looks quite different and far more beautiful than what you imagined or what you remember from Starpoint Gemini 1 and my series. This is the alpha version, early access of Starpoint Gemini 2. I decided that I wanted to take a look at it. I actually decided this a while ago. It just I was waiting for my Starpoint Gemini 1 series to conclude so I could actually spend a little bit of time in here. As you can see, the UI interface has been revamped quite a bit, including the controls. Right now, rather than being we got hostiles. Okay, let's get our groove on here. Instead of it being very mouse driven, as far as the movement is concerned, very much like Starpoint or Starfleet Command and games of that nature, we're now into a more of a tactical view here, where I use the WASD keys to maneuver my ship, and the mouse to target my weapons and fire them.
Friendly target acquired.
As you just saw there. And then if hopefully this guy drops some loot. I don't know. I might have to get a little bit closer here. Oh, yep, there we go. Collect all. There we go. So it's a big change from that perspective. The other thing, and this change I really enjoy, is all of our missions now are basically in this hub, which is the star chart here. So from the star chart, you go and accept missions. As you can see, I got a freelance mission there, and I've got it looks like a transport mission. And then that way you don't have to go around looking at the different ports of call to get those missions. And really, honestly, that never really worked quite well in Starpoint Gemini 1. All of the stations in a particular sector shared the missions. So really, it made no sense to go to different ones unless stations unless you were just looking for different ships and different parts. That was really the only draw. So I welcome this change. This really does help a lot as far as keeping everything in one place here. And it looks like I need to so you saw sort of a bounty hunt mission, sort of an assassination mission. That is very similar. They had very similar missions to that in Starpoint Gemini 1. In fact, that was the majority of the missions. But this mission I'm on now, where I have to anchor to pick up a VIP, and take them somewhere, this is brand new. I didn't have to do that previously. There was no mission type of that nature in the original Starpoint Gemini. There's also sort of cargo missions too, which I may run into as well. That's very similar, very same concept of, as this transport mission here. So so far you could just, the art style here is absolutely fantastic. Very, very beautiful game. I can just kind of sit here, and I've been playing it a little bit off.
Sensors are picking up hostiles in the vicinity.
Okay, we got more hostiles coming. I've been playing it off and on, off camera, just to get a feel for it, and really just to fly around and get a good look at just the backgrounds and everything else. For this particular video, I've started a brand new game. I cut out the I did not record, I should say, the intro movie, just because I don't want to give away any story spoilers. Not that it was really that spoilerific to begin with. I mean, it doesn't reveal a whole lot. It is what it needs to be for newcomers to the series. All right, we got the VIP on board, and now we can exit. Which is to say that it's open-ended enough that if you didn't play the first game, you're not really missing anything per se. There is a little bit of reference to the lore, but not a whole lot.
Affirmative. Changing course.
And as you can see here, they have integrated into the game this whole full power to engines thing. This is how you do your quote-unquote fast travel. There's really two methods. There's this, and then we also still have T-gates in the system, but and I'll explore one of those a little bit later. Right now, your main really means of travel is by transferring all your power to your engines and flying off to your destination, which ironically is what I used to do even in Starpoint Gemini 1, even though it wasn't an actual gameplay mechanic. It was, just to try to reduce my time, I would do that special ability where you could get extra speed and fly between areas that way. That's another little...
Just checking the star chart, Captain. New missions are available.
Okay, new missions are available. That's another thing I like, is that you can realign yourself very easily with the P key to realign with the galactic plane or planal alignment, whatever they want to call it. But yeah, it's funny to see something that I did just sort of offhand in the original game become sort of a gameplay mechanic in the new game. Certainly need it. One of my biggest complaints was how long it took to travel between. There was a lot of dead time, a lot of dead space between different mission hubs and different areas. So it's nice to see that they're addressing that somewhat. It is still a little bit of a, there is still a little bit of time lag there, but it's not as bad as it was. I'm not entirely in love with the way they're handling the T-gates now, and I'll show you what I mean a little bit later. Right now, let's take on a couple of these missions. This is a freelance mission here, so we'll fly off and see. They're both freelance missions. I don't know. See, it doesn't tell me on the HUD which one it is. Like, is this the one that I have to assassinate somebody, or is this the repair one that I picked up? I guess I won't know until I get there. And then it'll say, here's what you gotta do.
Hostiles confirmed in sensor radius.
Alright. As far as the UI goes, you'll notice there's a sort of a ship wheel over there on the left-hand side. It has all of my ship's systems and their current status, as well as my shield status. Which is the little yellow bars there. I know it's kind of hard to pick it out, and I still don't know quite how to read it. The bars kind of don't make any sense right now. And I don't know, obviously it's to swap your components in and out quickly, I guess, is why they have that wheel there. I don't really know, I don't really understand it. Because then you have this quick action bar, which you've seen me pop up twice now to do this full powered engines, which gives you contextual actions based upon what's going on the screen, as well as the primary action there, which you see right now says powered engines, but that will change as well based on certain things going on. So I'm not sure. Okay, this is repair beam on the mark structure. Okay, and see, this is the context menu I was talking about. This changes based upon what you're doing in the world, what actions are valid for what you're targeting.
Target fixed.
Okay, that's good. So that's the repair missions. Those were very similar to the ones in Starpoint Gemini 1, except instead of sending troops over, I just have a magic science beam now. Which I'm fine with it. it does streamline it quite a bit. It's not it's not as I guess it's still a little repetitive, but it's not as
Sir, acquiring new coordinates.
time
Transferring all
consuming.
available power to engines. Hostiles
So,
decloaking.
oh, yeah, I'm just gonna let that guy go. So yeah, I'm still not quite sure what that wheel is over there on the left. I haven't quite figured it out. So I assume there's some kind of use there. Maybe that's where I have my cloaking device, I guess, to do that. I really don't know. Next to that on the left there is your special abilities. Suddenly a nebula appeared. Okay. And this is, okay, destroy all marked ships. Alright, cool. On the left is your ability bar. Very, I mean, just taken pretty much from the original game. So that's all your special abilities that your captain has trained up for. On the right, those 4 buttons are your abilities that your ship has. So, like the first one there is sort of a viral torpedo, and that is essentially, if I were to fire that, it has a chance to kill the enemy troops on a ship. So you reduce their troop amounts, you reduce their crew amount as well. So it makes it a little bit easier for your crew, for your boarding parties to take it over. And I'm guessing I gotta take this guy out, even though he's not hostile to me. I'm gonna take this hostile out too, but I'm thinking the guy in green is probably the one I'm supposed to take out. So that's kind of another thing that irks me a little bit, and it irked me a little bit in the first game as well, where your targets are based upon your reputation with that, the color of your targets is based upon your reputation with that faction. However, if you take on a mission, oop, this guy's going to get it. However, if you take on a mission that requires you to kill somebody that you are friendly with, it doesn't mark them in red, so it's kind of hard to tell sometimes whether they're the actual target you're looking for or not. And that came into play a lot in the first game as well. They had that problem. So perhaps that's something that could be addressed. You know, maybe give them a special designation to say, you know, this is your mission target or something like that. Perhaps. We'll see. Yeah, I'm guessing that's what it is. So I'm just going to take this guy on. Another thing with the UI, you'll see when you target a ship, you get a brief little glimpse at the type of the ship and its systems. And then what stays on the screen here, obviously, is that the top of it is your distance to the ship. The bottom is the name of the captain, I believe, and his level. So right now this is a level 1 guy in parentheses there, you can see. And then below that is their faction name. The bars on it, the left-hand bar there that's blue is their shield energy, and the right-hand bar is their hull. Obviously, you need to get rid of their hull to destroy them. And I've leveled up to level 4 here, which is pretty damn interesting and cool. Yeah, you see my shield bar looks kind of weird there. It's kind of weird how they've represented it, but it's just something to get used to, I think. The other thing to get used to is the bars in the center there. The bottom bar in blue that you just saw go up is your current speed, and you control your speed with the mouse wheel. The green bar above it is your hull, how much you have left in your hull. And this is where it kind of gets a little bit cluttered, right? Because your hull is over there and your shields are over on the left. And it's, as far as I know, your schematic picture there, you know, in blue, doesn't change. And I feel like if your hull is being damaged, that really should be the thing to change as well. Like, it should be all in one spot where I can look at it at a glance rather than dividing my attention between both. I can see the idea of putting it in the center there because your eyes are going to mostly be in the center of the screen, but still, dividing that and the shields, it's you're kind of dividing your attention at that point. I'm not quite on board with that yet. Well below that, at the very, very bottom of the screen, are 3 bars. The one on the left, I believe, is your power for your left-hand side things, and the one on the right is your power for your right-hand side actions. I believe that's how that works. The one in the center that's yellow and just barely filled is your experience bar. How much experience you have until your next level. And of course, right above that is my current level, my rank, and what day it currently is in game, which I believe comes into effect with the missions. I think you have a limited time frame in which to run your missions. Like, you have to get done within a certain amount of time, and it says it there on the mission. So that's cool. I like it gives the world, the universe, a little bit more of a good organic feel to it. You know, it feels like rather than the universe waiting for me to show up in order to start the next mission, it's continuing on its own. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that. Alright, what I want to do now is, first of all, I believe I have to deliver this. Yes, I have to deliver this VIP. So we'll get to see what it looks like to anchor on a planet. And that's the other thing I haven't really explained yet, is the anchoring system. One of the big complaints I had, and many other people had, was how long it took to dock. The docking sequence was unnecessarily slow when you were docking with a station or otherwise. In this game, there's no more docking per se. It's now anchoring. And when you get close enough to an anchor point, be it a station or a planet, you get a little quick action bar.
Must be an anomaly. Communications report heavy
right.
long-range chatter.
Okay, I get it. Sometimes, as you can see, the voice in your head tends to be very chatty about every little thing that's going on. The quick action bar there, where it says power to engines right now, and I'm calling it a quick action bar, but I don't know if that's the actual name for it. But that will change when you get to an anchor point and say, hey, do you want to anchor here? And then once you do, you get that little gray screen that you've seen me on before, where you have your shipyard and your trader to trade goods and other things. News as well. So that's I haven't used the news yet. In fact, I don't think I've seen any news come through, so I don't know. I assume there's some dynamic things that go along with that. Otherwise, it'd be kind of useless unless you're gauging your performance that way. You see the radar as well on the bottom right-hand corner there. That's more of the traditional space simi radar. You see now, to land on a planet, I had to pay a landing fee. Whereas on the star bases, I didn't have to do that. So that's another thing to keep in mind. There's a lot of things in this game that you have to pay for now, as far as in-game credits go. Alright, you see on the missions as well, I'm going to go to the T-gate here and show you what the T-gate has, how this works. But you see also on the missions that the missions will tell you what level you should take. And this is going to be interesting to see whether the computer will compensate for...
We're too close to the planet's atmosphere.
Nope. That answers my question. Computer will not yet compensate for large planetary bodies in your way when you ask it to take you somewhere.
Enemies decloaking in the vicinity.
And take this guy up. With the weapons and the targeting now, you see on my mouse cursor there's a left and right bars. The left bar there, the blue bar, is the energy bar for your primary weapons, and the orange bar is for your secondary weapons, which is usually your heavy weapon. I think they call them light weapons and heavy weapons in this game. The heavy weapons are usually your secondary ones, which is your torpedoes and all those fun things.
Hull temperature rising. We should move away from the atmosphere.
Which brings me to another thing, as the computer alluded to there. You can burn up in the atmosphere of a planet. I have done it just for fun and profit earlier. So these planets are actual
Picking up hostiles in the vicinity.
objects in...
Proximity alert.
Okay, I get it already. These planets are actual objects in the world now. They're not just background images. They're not part of the background anymore. They are actual things. So yes, you can burn up in the atmosphere.
We must change course or we'll burn up in the atmosphere.
And you can have your computer voice constantly berating you about not avoiding it. You see we're coming up on the T-gate here as well. Now the T-gates are, as they were in the first game, they are fast travel points. The first game they were necessary to travel between sectors. They're not necessary anymore now. It's now all one big universe. So all the sectors are interconnected. So you can just fly to them manually, which is a lot nicer. It makes a lot more sense. It makes it a lot more cohesive. However, that sort of poses a problem for the T-gates. You know, what are you going to use the T-gates for? And what they've done here is to make the T-gates not only fast travel points like they were before, but also they're expensive. You have to pay credits to use them now. I don't necessarily agree with that reasoning, with that new mechanic, if you will. Really, honestly, if I'm going to take the time to fly to a T-gate, and here you see how much I have to pay in order to get to different areas of Gemini, different sectors here. And I'm just going to pick the cheapest one here, the Cromwell T-gate, which obviously must be the closest one, since it's so cheap. And I don't really agree with that too much. I think that's a little bit ridiculous, to be honest. If I want to travel halfway across the Gemini system, I should be able to do it for relatively free.
We should check the star chart. New missions are available.
And as you can see, I've come out the other side here, and I'm at the Cromwell Prefecture. You see it was just a short jump, which, you know, without that would have taken a lot longer, but it wasn't really worth the price either, if you ask me. You see all the different modes here, factions, and what my relationship is to them. And also, there is a bounty board, which is really nice. I like this. This is always here. It's always available. Basically, all these people are wanted, probably dead, and their last known location is listed there. And then you can go off and just see if you can find them and get some credits for their reward for, you know, destroying them. I like that a lot. I think that's a really good idea, a really good feature of the game. So I think I've rambled on enough for now. This is all I'm going to do as far as Starpoint Gemini 2 for a while, unless something major update comes or the game is released. In which case, I will definitely be playing the game. I like what I've seen so far. A little bit of squibbles, a little squabbles there, but it is alpha, very much alpha, and Oh, that ship over there is the ship that I got from the DLC. In the Time Breach DLC there on the left. That's pretty cool. Alright, I think that just about does it for this little sneak preview of Starpoint Gemini 2. If you like what you've seen, head on over to Steam. It is available in Steam Early Access. I believe it is $30, if I remember correctly, or maybe 20. I can't quite remember. Also, if you get into the Early Access, you get Starpoint Gemini 1 for free. So go check it out if you like what you see. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you next time.